Good morning, family and friends. How are you? Welcome to this great day, also to this live broadcast. And as usual, I encourage you to join me as we seek and spread knowledge without fear. All right? And this morning, I want to share with us what I titled In Which God They Trust. We know about the inscription on the American currency, like in God we trust. So somebody, a friend, and also a namesake when I was in Nigeria. So we were into the same business and, doing things, having fun together, like going about all that. And I think one time we wanted to start business together, three of us. Then on WhatsApp, I've been having conversation with him about there is no God. So he keep asking me a question. So he says something. How can I be in America, the people that said in God they trust and say there is no God? Are you saying they don't know what there is no sustenance? Let me bring it up. So I quote him as proper, because I don't like quoting something that is not right. Mm. Okay, hear what he said. He said, but how come America, where you so much adore or worship, has an inscription on their currency, in God we trust, if there is no God? That's what he said. So in other words, if America said there is God, that is enough proof for him. But he was throwing that at me. He said that the America is so much adore or worship. He said they have that inscription on their currency, in God we trust. If there is no God, how did they have it? Then already, some people used to say that initially it was in luck we trust before they change it. I didn't see that one on Google. So I check Google on in God we trust. So he said that the use of the phrase in God we trust in US currency first appeared in 1864. Simon P. Chase, Lincoln's Secretary of the Treasury, in the middle of the Civil War, that God failed to end. And they lost the war, right? He said, received a letter from a Pennsylvania minister requesting some recognition of God in a national motto. Recognition of God in a national motto. A God, both that minister and that secretary, they never see that God. They haven't, remember, they came from Europe, that's England, to kill people that own the land of America and possess the land. So which God is this minister was this minister talking about? That's why I said, in which God they trust. Then he said in 2006, in God we trust was designated as the motto of the U.S. state of Florida. Okay. But he say this e blubos unum is Latin for out of many one. Sometimes it is translated more loosely as one from many. E blubus unum was once the motto of the United States of America, and references the fact that the cohesive single nation was formed as the result of the 13 similar colonies joining together, United States. It was a Pennsylvania minister that wrote a letter and sent to the secretary of Abraham Lincoln, the president of America, said, they let us recognize God in our motto. It is not God that made it. It is not God that came and said, do it. No, he said a minister wrote a letter Because it's a religious war. That's why you see Christians say America is a Christian what? Country. But there's no such thing as Christian country in the Bible. But in the world today, you see some countries saying they are Christian countries. Some say they are Muslim countries. You know, they keep having all that religious war. But let me also read my response to him. I responded. Of course, you know, I will always, I said, because money is the God in which they trust. God is man made up, which is why you cannot see it. God is man made up, which is why you cannot see. In the middle of civil war, a minister whose God could not bring peace in among the people were slaughtering each other in a war. But this minister was concerned about recognizing God on their in their motto, in their national motto. Just put in God we trust. Remove all those Latin stuff out of many. One, you know, one. Remove it. Remove it. Let us not recognize ourselves. We are nothing. Let us recognize God. God, they have not seen. He asked me again, other like if one does where he goes. I say reincarnation. This is our earth. You know, the normal. I'm not speaking one thing online and another thing offline. That's why when some people come to me inbox, I say, no, go to that post. You are talking about, comment on that post. I enjoy seeing it in public so that I'm not talking to one person, just you that is asking questions. I want the public to hear what I'm saying, judge what I'm saying, correct me if I'm wrong, prove me wrong or right. Okay, so when they said in God we trust, which God? There are many gods in this world. Which God? The God that asked them to come and kill the Indians, that the original occupant of the land, and kill them and take their land. Is it the God they trust in? Which God do they trust in? Which God? In which God they trust? As I responded to that guy, money. That's why it's on money. In God we trust. Money is the God they trust. Money is the God the whole world trusts. You cannot deny that. Nobody can say they don't like money, or they tell you the love of money is the root of all evil. But they are depending on money to build their churches, buy their equipments, do anything for that God they worship. They tell you their God can do anything, yet their actions show that it is money. Without money, their God is useless. Their God cannot build anything. Their God cannot give anything. But Almighty God is supposed to be able to produce the equipments that His people will use to worship Him. But even in the Bible and outside Bible, it is always people who are making the instruments, the things they use to worship the God they claim to be Almighty. Why? Because no one has seen that God. Why? Because that God does not exist. Why? Because man made that God in his imagination and sell it to others. So money is number one God that they trust. When they say in God they trust is money. Without money, you will be suffering in America, for example. I am living in America. We work to make money. They don't give you money. Say, okay, go and spend money. Go, you know, the government is giving you this money. No, it's out of the one you make, they take from you. Then out of it, they will say, okay, take. Of course, there are people that are not working that depend on welfare, but that's people that are making money. The money they take from people that are working, that's the money they give to them. Which is why you see some workers, you know, they get angry. They say, all these taxes are taken from me, all these homeless people, all this bomb, you know, they are just using my money to take care of them. But for us that come from Africa, we know that type of life. No, half bread is better than none. I don't care about how many taxes you take. The main thing I care is the money I have in my account. That's what that matters to me. You can take all the tax. Of course, I'm living, enjoying life here. You know, they are working. It's not like Africa where you struggle, yet nothing to show. Teachers are working, nobody's paying them. You know, people are struggling. People are opening shops and closing because of hard condition there. So the second thing they say, they say, when they say in God they trust, it is that word God, G-O-D, gold, oil, diamonds. That is the God they trust. And that's why they invaded Africa. Not only American government, Europeans, Arabs, Asians, all of them, they are chasing after this God called gold, oil, diamonds. That is the God they trust. In God they trust. That's the God that will make them to invade any land. That's the God that will make them to divide any country. That's the God that will make them to throw confusion in any country. When they see that the one that in power is not giving them access to gold, oil, diamonds, boom, they will set opposition, sponsor the opposition. The war will start, or division start. Then their man will take over. They begin to take those gold, oil, diamonds, and they tell you they are sending relief to you. They are sending this, but what they are taking, you don't know. It is because of gold, oil, diamond. Of course, when you have gold, oil, diamonds, you have money. That gold, that's the highest, the number one, the most important currency in the whole world. You're talking about oil. Go to Nigeria, you understand what oil can do, or Saudi Arabia, all those countries that are producing oil. You know, Nigerians are chasing oil money. You see graduates that didn't study in the area of oil, but after graduation is looking for job in oil company. I want to work in oil company, I want oil money. There is money there. Or he's talking about diamonds. He says it's called blood diamond because they kill to get diamond and make money. So gold, oil, diamond is the God that these people are telling you they trust in. So, and also in America, they also see African slaves. They use African slaves to make money too. America is built on the backs of Africans. Our ancestors built America, not white people, not any other people, but black people, Africans that built America as America is today or stands today. But many Africans think, don't know that, and they think it is God or God bless them or that. No. And they put in the Bible when they tell you that God gave land of people that build their land, God will take their land and give to the people of Israel, and you say it's good. But when you hear that somebody steal, you say kill the person. You burn somebody that's still alive. But in your Bible, you believe you accept that nonsense that God came and killed people that own a land and gave it to the people of Israel. And you say you trust in that God of Israel. You fear that God of Israel. No, you have to quit. The question is this: do you trust in God? If your answer is yes, which God is that? Have you seen that God in which you trust? Tell yourself the honest truth. Stop believing the lie that God is a spirit. If God is a spirit, then you cannot trust God. You trust what or who you know. What you don't know. For you to trust what you don't know or who you don't know means you are a moron. You are a slave. A son know his father. A son don't trust his father that he has not seen. Nowhere. You have to see your father. You have to see your God. If that God exists, who told you about that God? Tell yourself the truth. There's no God that have ever tell anyone about itself. It is always your fellow human being that introduce you to that God. Any God you believe in, any God you worship today, it is not your God. That God have not spoken to you, and that God cannot show himself. You say, oh, I hear the voice of God. God speaks to me. You are lying. No God speaks. No God kills. No God punishes. No God can do anything. It is people that are punishing. It is people that are doing all those things. Who are the ones making the laws and commandments? Both the one you read in religious book and outside religious book. It is your fellow human being. Who told you about God? Tell yourself the truth. Stop believing the lies that people told you to keep you in bondage, and you are passing it down to your next generation. No, it is time you wake up and deliver yourself and your generation from the bondage of believing in imaginary God. Money God is what people trust, but they pretend there is invisible God in heaven in which they trust. It is money God they trust. Remove money from church, many pastors and priests will just go into another thing. You won't see them there. Of course, you see in Roman Catholic Church, you see some families dedicating one of their sons to become priests, become Reverend Father, because of what they will be getting, both in honor aspect and in cash aspect. Because any family that have a Reverend Father, of course, automatically you are rich. The money is getting from the church will be pumping in there. You said they will not have children. Who told you? They marry secretly. Keep that woman with their mother or with their sister or with their family members, and going there impregnating her and having baby for him. But most of you think it is just the white robe they wear. That's all. No. That white robe covers a lot of atrocities, covers a lot of evil. They are hiding from the public. Money God is what people trust, but they pretend that there is this imaginary almighty God in heaven in which they trust. No. You see, when you need money, you find out who is God. It's money they require. You want to go to school, money. Everything they put money on it. Without money, you cannot get what you need in this world. I mean, what they make you believe you need. But the true thing you need is free. The main thing we need to live in this world is still free. No matter how they try to hoard it, it is still free. All you need to do is to move. If you stay in their circle, if you stay in their reach, of course, you have to abide by their rules and laws, and you have to pay to live. But if you can move, which is what many of us, when we think about it, we think negatively. We never think we can survive without money. I asked that question one time, and many people keep saying, no, nobody can survive without money. Who tell you that? The day you were born, you weren't born with any money. It is people. The same way they tell you about God, they are the same way they tell you about money, and make it appear that without money you cannot live. Without God you cannot live. Fuck them. You can live without money and you can live without God. But it is wickedness that make people hoard God, hoard money. Okay, instead of them making life as our ancestors used to live, you can use what you have to get what you need. If you don't have it, but the other person have it, you can go and do exchange, like trade by barter, until they begin to introduce all this wickedness. We begin to pay for even like as African build their society or their community or their family, they build it to be a socialized one. Like, if you don't have, your brother have. There's no need for you to go begging. There's no need for you to go stealing. There is that big family. Africa is one big family. And they care for one another. Even somebody you have not seen before, for the fact you just see you are a person, that person will help you out. But all those things they have trash and make us believe in lies that without money we cannot live, without God we cannot live. Of course, your life is evidence that you can live without God. And if you can face your fears and defeat your fears, you see you can live without money. I mean, without God, well, without money also. So, like what they did to Africans were deceived to overlook the real God, which is gold, oil, diamonds, and they deceived Africans to look to God, to the invisible God in heaven. the God they cannot see. Yet Africans will close their eyes, imagining that they are speaking to that God, and that God is looking over them to bless them. That God is looking over them to help them. Imaginary God. Why the real God on earth? The wicked ones are taking it from Africa. Africans are not Africans are not paying attention to those ones, the real God. Gold, oil, diamonds, and the few Africans that understand the game then join the corrupt people. Instead of using it to bless their people, instead of using it to bless the whole Africans, they are using it to bless themselves, and many are suffering in Africa. There's no reason for Africans to depend on any foreign aid. We don't need foreign aid in Africa. What we need is awakening. We need to wake up. When we wake up, we restore our power and recover our heritage. There is nothing that we give to us that we equate, that we match what our heritage and the power are. We need to restore our glory, our power, and recover our heritage. People who claim to trust in God are either lying or stupid. They are stupid people or lying people. And this is how I want to put it, that lying people can kill for God. That's why you see the people that brought Christianity, Islam, Judaism to Africa, they kill for that God. They kill because they are lying people. They are lying to you there is God in heaven. Why they are after you are God on earth. The God in the earth. That is the God they need. You are gold, you are oil, you are diamonds. They are lying people, and they are out to kill for that. They kill to possess your land. They kill to take your resources. They kill to destroy your heritage. They kill to keep you ignorant. They are the thief that comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. And it's time you wake up, Africans. Until you wake up and stand your ground, they will keep killing for that God. And after you will gather with them, praising the same God they kill you for. The God they kill you for, telling you that God is in heaven, they use that God to kill you. They kill you in the name of that God and tell you in that God they trust. And then you see many Africans believe that God punished them because their ancestors were idol worshippers. Their ancestors were not. Stupid people, listen, stupid Africans. An idol worshipper and a murderer, which one is better? Idol worshipper is better by all means, or from in every dimension, or in every way you seek it, you seek, or you're watching it from, or you're judging it from. Idol worshiper has not wronged you or anyone. Idol worshippers are not evil to their neighbors or to their people. They are worshiping idols. What is that? Why is that a problem to you and to your God? Leave them to worship their idol. Those of you African Christians that are asking me to leave you alone, to leave you to have your own belief, foolish people. Christianity is not your own belief. It is not your own religion. It is not your own faith. If you're asking me to leave you, why did the people that bring that Christianity fail to leave your own ancestors to worshiping their idols? You believe your ancestors were worshiping idols, but their artifacts, the things you say they worship, white men have them in their museum, in their land, not in Africa. Yet you believe that nonsense. Lying people kill for God. Then the second people are the stupid people. Lying people and stupid people, they believe in an invisible God. The stupid people can die for God. Stupid people are dying for God. They will hate you for God. They can die for God. You see the ones that tie bomb on this, they call them suicide bombers, killing Allah Kubaru. They blow themselves up because of one stupid promise. They have 72 virgins waiting for them in paradise. And then you see Christians, stupid, preaching Jesus Christ because they promised them if they die for Christ, they will make heaven and inherit eternal life. He will give them 100-fold of everything they left for him. It is because you don't know the history of Christianity, you will think that Muslim or Islam is evil. No. Christianity and Islam, they are the same thing, base of same faith, base of a feather. The same thing. You need to understand why Christianity is not killing physically like Islam today. Is because of the lie they lied to you. Oh yeah, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. Why the Bible never say Jesus is the Prince of Peace? Jesus is the Prince of Division, Prince of Hate, according to the Bible. But because they have deceived the world again, that now they stand for peace. They want you to forget their past when they use atrocity to gain ground. They become national religion, powerful religion through atrocities, killing people, bloodshed. Stupid people will die for God. They can die for God. You see them going on fasting for long time. For God, they have not sinned. They can die for God. I'm asking you, don't kill for God and don't die for God. Please, don't kill for any reason and don't die for any. Live your life humanly. It is better to trust in humanity than to trust in God. You have not seen. You can see human beings. You cannot see God. In your time of need, it is human being that will help you. No God can help you. No God has helped you. No God, no matter the name of that God, no matter how many people that are following that God is useless to you and for you in reality. So it is time you wake up. When you say you trust in God, which God are you talking about? Have you seen that God? And who told you about that God? Anyone that tell you about that God is lying. And if you are living in the name of that God, you are stupid. It is time you stop being a stupid adult and become truthful. Speak the truth you know. Stop speaking what you believe. Stop speaking your faith because you cannot prove them. But once you know the truth, you can speak it and you can prove them. Please, I'm calling on you. Trust in humanity, not in God. In humanity, I trust. I don't trust in God because God is useless in reality. Peace.